Good morning, everyone. It's Marla Copal with successwithmarla.com. So let's talk today about something that I think is fairly interesting, which is thinking. We all think, right? But do we think again sometimes? Do we think again about some of those actions we're going to take? For years I've said I was a leaper. That's not the truth. It appears sometimes like I've leaped into a decision, but actually, I have been collecting and gathering data for a long time. So there's a book out called Think Again by Adam Grant. And I love it. It's a great book. I'm not finished yet, but I got my Audible copy yesterday and was just devouring it all day Sunday. And what he talks about in here is kind of interesting. When to me, I'm thinking about it in relationship to marketing, I'm thinking about it in relationship to sales, and I'm thinking about all these situations that people find themselves in where they regret a choice they made, or they're looking at the situations that they're in, and they wonder why they got there. So when people are in communication and thought for themselves, this is about you, there's a lot of times we ourselves get ourselves into our own trouble because we're a preacher. We're out there, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to tell you. And you get that into your own space where you tell yourself that this is the way that it is, this is the way that it's going to be. And so I'm going to just say that there are times I meet clients that say, I failed before, I'm going to fail again. Well, preach it. That gets you where you want to go, just preach it. But my gosh, why? That's just a beat up, like you don't need to go there. So I get tickled when I find myself meeting others who are doing that. And sometimes it's a great opportunity for me to go, have I done that lately for myself? So what he's talking about in this book is how he shuts down our own scientific process of discovery. We think we know everything, but really, every day is an opportunity for more hypotheses and for more perspectives that we can shift or change. Second opinions are bad. And then he also says that many of us take on the persona of the prosecutor. The prosecutor. Woo! What does that mean? Well, the prosecutor is that person who's always, if somebody says this, then they're going to battle you that you're wrong or you're right. The prosecutor is always in there with a wrong or a right, a wrong or a right, a wrong or a right. And hey, guess what? I think there's a lot of gray in the world. There's more than just an either or going on. And even Stephen Covey taught that there's more than either or. But when you look back at some of the choices you've made lately, and if you're beating yourself up about some of those choices, is it because you're thinking only in either or? Are you thinking that, wow, there was only this way or that way, and this just still doesn't work? Well, start looking for the gray. And that's where people use people like me, because I reframe constantly. Now, that doesn't mean I can't get stuck in preacher mode, and it doesn't mean I can't get stuck in prosecutor mode. But by nature, I reframe, I relook. I am the scientist that goes and investigates. Do I investigate enough? Hey, whoever knows what enough is. I mean, there is no enough. So sometimes we do have to take a risk and make a choice. So, like last year, let's give you an example. Last year, I made a number of choices, but it was part of my scientific investigation. So sometimes my preacher says, should have done it sooner. Sometimes my prosecutor says, well, were you right? But here's what I did last year in 2020. I knew that I had to shift my business online. I knew by watching everything that was going on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn that I needed to be there, but I didn't know how to be there. So then I listened to one person who says, oh, I got all my education programs that I sell, and I sell them out on this site. So I joined that site thinking, okay, I'll go sell education because I'm an educator. I can write curriculum. I can do this. But the thing that I discovered when I was in there is all the training was written or video. I had no one to talk to, and I'm an interactive learner. So I don't always pick it up from the written word, and I don't always pick it up from the video, because here's what's always missing for me is the strategy. Why am I doing that? I do not follow training in a linear fashion at all. I got to know the whole time what value is it bringing me, and that nagging voice is in the back of my head. So I retain less, I get stressed before I should, and I just don't know how to get to where I want to go. So I let that system go, and then somebody else told me, well, this is simple. This is how you do a funnel, and we'll provide you all the blogs and do all of this. And I went, interesting. So I tried that out, and I thought, I still don't know how to connect with these people. I don't know what a follow-up email is. I don't know how to write content that's going to engage. What am I selling? My products or my services? So I needed that global perspective first. I needed to understand what I was going to measure. And I needed to understand, once I did that, where could I find a way to get it all done and not have to have 7 different programs I was going in and out of it all day. Well, it took me 9 months to find my solution. But oh man, am I glad I found my solution. I'm glad I did all my scientific testing before. Because my scientific testing involved sampling a number of different programs. And in that sampling, I understood what I didn't have enough of. I understood all those things that were important to me that maybe I hadn't been able to identify. Like, I want a community I can ask questions in. I just don't want to have one coach that I always go to. And so I found a community. I found pre-templated funnels. I found a coordinated customer relationship management system. I found an email system. I found copywriting skills. I found a way to market my classes if I want to do them and collect money on them. And I also got a number of products that were pre-designed for me that educated people on social media marketing. Woo! I walked in to 8 solutions that I needed. And here I'd been looking at them piecemeal. So when I thought about it, I was telling somebody that I was lucky to find this. No, I had done all my scientific research. So when other people were telling me, we'll take this class, and I realized each time I came out of a class, I took a 5-day challenge once, and it left me with an idea. And then they wanted me to buy into their system. But I still knew that technically I needed some support. I manage tech really, really well, but I don't always see all the steps. I'm one of those people, I need to know what's going on behind the scenes. So when I saw a whole system that was going to show me all 8 and maybe more parts to the system, and have daily motivational talks and have daily education, and twice a week I get on the phone or in a call with the owners of the company, and they'll show us and teach us. It was like, wow. I walked into Candyland. I walked into my Candyland of a solution because I thought about it. And I didn't take just one script, one rule, one idea, one plan. I thought about it, and I used the scientific process. If I'd bought into somebody preaching their solution, which I had done a couple of times, if I bought into somebody else telling me why my actions were right or wrong, and then you run into those politicians every once in a while, right? They want to promise you this and promise you that, but it's like, it's still down to you. It's down to you. So if you really want some success in your online marketing and in sales, then you really want to have someone who understands the scientific process and will take you through that also, who will help you discover that, well, that is a skill that maybe you don't have yet. And then maybe another time it's like, it's an attitude that needs adjustment. And then maybe another time it's like, you need a tool. So a scientific approach from a mentor or a coach like myself is going to get you into the areas first that you need, instead of hobbling you with a bunch of stuff that you don't need in the beginning. So all you have to do to have a conversation with me is select successwithmarla.com. And in there, I also have um, an opportunity for you to get on my newsletter, and then we'll talk about this, because as I realize how I've done things my whole life, it's been this way. So I'll give you another example. I was in property management for almost 10 years before I bought my first business. So what appeared to be a a magical leap. So here's how I got to own my first business. The owner was at lunch telling me he wasn't going to get myself and the woman that bought the business with me, telling us that we weren't going to get a raise, but that he was going to sell the business. Same time, both of us said, we'll buy the business. We spoke for the other one because we knew already it had been our vision to go own a business on our own. But I had 10 years of experience, as did she, in managing properties for other people, in managing their money, in making remodeling decisions. And I'd also had probably some of the worst bosses in the world. And I had a list of things that I did not want to continue ever bring into my operation. And we'd had discussions about this. So, actually we were primed for that day. It wasn't a surprise. It was a surprise that he wanted to do it, but it wasn't a surprise to us about what we said. So I want to put you in those positions too, where you know that this is a great opportunity for you to just go ahead and learn something new, and then see what your true scientific process is, and to make sure that your own internal preacher, prosecutor, politician doesn't take over your decision making. Let's activate your scientist, and let's get you into more success, and let's get you into thinking about what you don't know, and then recognizing what you do know, and then putting it together so that it creates that new opportunity, that new possibility, so that now you have something new to investigate. Talk to me. I'm Marla Copal. Just get a hold of me at successwithmarla.com. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.